So if you're in a situation where you don't want your voice heard, you can text. That's where that situation would fit that bill very, it would be a great benefit to be able to be, a home invasion, like you mentioned before we went on the air, somebody breaking into your home. If you're in a hidden location, then you can now text and you do not have to use your voice. You can, correspond, and we'll get you help there as soon as we can. But keep in mind, if you're in that situation, you want to also silence your phone.
Sure.
You want to go silent with your phone. Some other things to remember is that we want to specifically communicate with 911. We don't want to start a group text message, where we're trying to inform your parents and 911, because then a lot of times somebody will chime in and put something in there, and the dispatcher's just seeing the incoming call. It's not going to show it's coming in from, it's not on a cell phone. It's coming across on a board. It's going to be from the one respondent. So we don't want, for it to be confused with other numbers involved in
Sure. My initial thoughts were not strictly to the disabled people with hard of hearing, or if you're mute, you're unable to talk. There's things like that. I immediately went to domestic violence or home invasion type of situations there. Both very important, both very, these 911 texting is very, very useful for that right there. I mean, any message to people out there that you don't want to test this kind of thing out now that you're hearing about it?
Yeah. So I'm going to suggest, you could try your phone. You could get somebody to text it. Maybe you're showing your daughter that maybe someday that you want to prevent her.
Sure.
Or be prepared for it. I would say, yes, it is an option to test it, but I want people to go about it the right way. And by that, I mean, it's always a good idea to pick up the phone, call our non-emergency number of 824-4961, and let them know, hey, I'm aware of this new 911 text system. I would like to teach my kids how to use it, or, even yourself, I want to try it.
Yeah.
That way they know when it comes in, and they'll coordinate with you. Hey, this is how you do it. They'll walk you through it. You text. They'll shoot you a text back, and now you've got it. So yes, if they do want to test it, like before, call the non-emergency number, and the dispatcher will walk them through how to do that. Some other little things to mention on that, you do want to keep it brief. It's important that if your battery dies or something else, one of the main things you want to do is when you call 911, they're going to ask you the same question. 911, what's the location of your emergency? That's the key factor there. Because even if you can't get more information out in the text, giving the location of your emergency is foremost, for us to respond. It's the most important key element there. So what you want to do is basically not only give the location, keep in mind, I'm at 212 Main Street in said city.
Yes.
You want to make sure that, because you think about it, how many towns have a main street?
Absolutely.
So you want to make sure that I'm at 212 Main in Assumption. You want to throw in there the city and maybe even just a brief description. I'm in a domestic. I can't talk any further.
Yes.
I have to shut my phone off. Now we've got that address, and now we can respond accordingly.
Sure. Specific location and the situation that is happening over there. It's be brief, and it's not the time to really get into details over text right there. Were you aware prior to this call, if you can, text if you can't, there was for domestic situations, a woman most times calling and pretending to be ordering a pizza, and it's like that was code for abuse. It feels like that's just the wrong direction you're going in there. Texting 911 is just the better. Were you aware of that calling?
So when we start getting phone call or phones out in there with people calling 911, there were different things where you're trying to decipher that. And I'm sure, like I said, I will say this: these crimes that you may encounter where you want to text, it could happen to anyone, anywhere. Times are always changing. We've got to be vigilant, be prepared. And so, like I said, just having the conversation with your young ones of, hey, this is an option.
Yes.
And I will say, just like before, it is a crime to falsify a police report or call 911, tie up those lines. So we don't want to do it to be tying up those lines. That's why I say call ahead. Yeah. But yeah, we've seen things where people call in and you try and cipher what are they actually talking about. And we've had people like call and you can tell on the phone something's just not right. and it allows us to start pinging phones and stuff like that. So yeah, there's all kind of things that we clearly are just catching up with, probably some of the other bigger cities on this, so they're more familiar with it. I myself, I will tell you, just like for years, when I heard it, we started having an open conversation about how that was coming. 911 board has been working on it, and there's other places that they actually run radio advertisements. Call if you can, text if you can't, and that's where I picked up the slogan. And it was a good way to bring it home, to start promoting the idea that it is an available tool now to those in need.
Yeah. Well, it is a great slogan. Call if you can, text if you can't. And there's going to be a whole generation of kids out there now with growing up knowing that they can text 911. It's going to be really cool to see that spread and just see all the good things that come about with that. We have Chief Deputy Jim Baker on our WTIM morning show. Chief Deputy Jim Baker of the Christian County Sheriff's Office. Of course, we got to take ourselves a break. We're a little bit late, Chief Deputy, on that one. But you're listening to the WTIM morning show. We will be right back.
Your information station, WTIM.
Let's check the markets now on the RFD Radio Network. I'm Jim Taylor. Corn, beans, and wheat all higher at this hour. December corn up 4 1/4, 409. March corn up 3 1/2, 422 1/2. May corn 430 1/4, up 3 3/4. November beans up 10 1/4, 980 1/4. January beans 991, up 8 1/4. March beans 1003 3/4, up 7 1/2. December Chicago wheat 579 1/2, up 6 3/4. March wheat up 6, 598 1/2. December bean meal 317.20, up $1.60. December bean oil up 60 cents, 42.42. Livestock market, October feeders 247.80, down 52 cents. October live cattle down 57 cents, 187.05. December lean hog 76.90. down 92 cents. Energy market, November crude oil up $1.05, 70.27. Jim Taylor, RFD Radio Network.
Proven banking solutions are a must for today's business owner. Hi, I'm Nick Epley with People's Bank and Trust. If your company needs products like online bill pay, remote deposit, and payroll direct deposit, or better checking and savings account options, then we need to talk. I can customize our business banking and lending plans to fit your company's needs. Call 888-PBT-1954 or visit bankpbt.com today. We want to be your business banking partner. People's Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hey there, it's Ramey Miller, personal and business coach, and also owner of Run Deep Coaching, and a Taylorville native now living in the Northern Illinois area. I have the pleasure of helping people strengthen the relationship with themselves and others virtually, no matter where they are. Seeing what's possible for people is the highlight of my job. For example, I support people through job transitions, relationship changes, and developing new habits. Recently, I hosted a workshop and people walked away with hope, courage, feeling worthy and seen. I would love to connect with you. Feel free to reach out for a virtual complimentary 60-minute conversation to see if it's a good fit to work together one-on-one, or we can just simply discuss any upcoming events. My website is www.rundeepcoaching.com. That's www.rundeepcoaching.com. I am sending you so much support.
Hi, this is Will Perkins with Taylorville Community Credit Union. Find out about all the products and services we provide by clicking our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Winter is coming. Don't deal with ice, snow, cold, slipping, and sliding. Get on the waiting list at Taylorville Estates Assisted Living, where they encourage independence and enrich lives. Check their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome back into the WTIM morning show with Chief Deputy Jim Baker of the Christian County Sheriff's Office. Chief Deputy, some Halloween messages for the people out there.
It is Halloween season, and like I said, I would just like the parents to be reminded that when you send the kids out, there's a couple things we can do for their safety. One of them being reflective clothing, and the other one would be wearing headlights, lights, stuff like that.
Sorry, folks, we're going to take ourselves a very quick break right now. We are right here on WTIM, your information station.
If you're 40 and over, you'll recognize these artists by their first names: Frank, Dean, Sammy, Andy, Nat, Diana.